Welcome to the next tutorial on electric current. In this tutorial, I am going to discuss about symbols of electrical component. Now, during our study of physics, we will be doing lot of experiments in the laboratory, where we need lot of electrical components like a cell or battery, fixed resistance, variable resistance, then ammeter for measuring the current flow, voltmeter for measuring the potential difference, switches of course for on and off switch, and many such. Before we do any experiment, we need to first draw the whole diagram of all the electrical components in a piece of paper, and it will be extremely time consuming and laborious to draw an electrical diagram with pictures of all the electrical components exactly the way it looks. It's very difficult and it will not make lot of sense also. For that reason, we have developed something called symbols of electrical components, which is always useful for drawing a diagram. So, as I mentioned, drawing a diagram with actual pictures will be very difficult and time consuming. For example, if we write a chemical equation, for example, it will take lot of extra time to write a chemical equation giving the full name of the elements and compounds. Rather, we use symbols, like for N for nitrogen, O for oxygen. Similarly, while drawing electrical diagrams, we will always use symbols. So here in this tutorial, I am going to show you some of the very commonly used symbols of electrical components. As you see in this slide, I have shown as an ammeter. Ammeter is for measuring the electric current flow, and it is described as A. As I mentioned, that as you need symbols for writing a chemical equation, similarly you need symbols for drawing an electrical diagram. Okay, enough of introduction. Let me go to the point straight. Okay, for example, for ammeter, we have decided a symbol of A. A is for ammeter. There is a in a circle with one side positive, one side negative. V for voltmeter, for measuring the potential difference, with a V in a circle with one side positive and one side negative. I am drawing the ammeter here again because it is slightly blocked because of this EasyBit software. Okay, this is how ammeter is drawn. So this is the symbol, and on the top it is the actual ammeter that you normally use in the physics laboratory. Similarly, this is the voltmeter for measuring the potential difference, also called P dot D dot, and the below is the symbol for potential difference. Next is galvanometer, which is used for measuring electric current, and its symbol is G in a circle. Then switch, very often used, always used. No electrical circuit is complete without a switch. So this is the open switch. You can see it is open. There are two ways you can draw switch. I have written both of them with OR, and there are two ways you can draw a closed switch. Closed switch means when the circuit is complete and electric current can flow. Electric current can only flow through when the switch is closed. Here are few more symbols. Cell. Cell means one single cell. So cell will have one positive and one negative end. Then comes battery, and this is how a cell looks like. Is a dry cell. So this is how this is the symbol of cell. Then comes the battery. Battery means multiple cells in series. So this is how a battery looks like. Inside there are multiple cells, and this is how a battery is drawn in a diagram. Then is a connecting wire. Then this is the wire joint. Next is a wires crossing without contact. That means there is no contact here. You can see there is a loop here, circular loop. That means it is indicating that there is no contact. Then there is a fixed resistance, means when the resistance is fixed. This is how a fixed resistance looks like. If you open a radio, little bit old radio, you will see this kind of resistance are quite abundant. This is the symbol of a fixed resistance, also called resistor. Next is the symbol for variable resistance. Variable resistance is something we very often used in laboratory. If you have a regulator in your fan, then that regulator is a variable resistance. So we also use variable resistance day to day in our house, which is the regulator of a fan. This is how the variable resistance is drawn in a diagram. Variable resistance is also called a rheostat. Then this is the symbol of a bulb, electric bulb. And at the top right, at the top left, you see one diagram where there is a open switch, there is a battery, there is an electrical bulb. That is also another way of showing an electrical bulb. And you can see the flow of electron flow and conventional current flow.